channel. Today I will be talking about how to raise a happy baby, but before I get into it, I just want to let you guys know that I will be dropping my videos 2 times per week. I normally upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I will be uploading just Wednesday, Friday now. Wednesday will be the What I Ate Wednesday, and then Friday will be either like a mommy video, a baby video, hauls, you know, whatever. Just because right now anyways things are picking up a lot at school for me, so they're getting a lot busier, midterms and all that kind of stuff, and I just don't know if I can keep up, you know, the 3 videos a week. So anyways, I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to, like I said, talk about how to raise a happy baby. None of this information is just my own opinion. This is from actual psychiatrists and doctors in the field. You can look it up. But they're just some I'm not going to say normal. They're just like common tips that, you know, doctors and stuff give you to raise a happy baby. And they're all very common sense. You'll find that, I think. I do have a screen here just because I have a list of the things I want to talk about. I don't want to mix up the order, so that's why I'll be looking at the screen once in a while. Okay, so the first thing is that you need to learn to read your baby's emotions. So for instance, you needed to see if your baby's happy or sad, and you need to be able to read that. So your baby will give you a happy beaming smile when they're happy, obviously, or they might give you a little bit of a frown when they're sad, or, you know, a look in their eyes when they're upset or angry. You just really got to learn to read your baby, and, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend so much time with them. Like if you're at work and your husband's with the baby, that's okay. You just still need to be able to recognize, you know, your baby's emotions and things like that. And if you're their mother, you'll be able to tell. Don't worry about it. But this just really helps, you know, to connect with them and understand what they want. So the next thing is to have fun with your baby. So you need to connect with your baby and play with her, because in the end, you make her the happiest. You know, it doesn't matter about toys and, you know, trying applesauce or something for the first time, like they say. It's really that makes them the happiest. So really just, you know, play with her. Like if you're tired at night and you came home from work, or your husband comes home from work and, you know, they're tired, they don't really want to play with the baby, they just want to go to bed, encourage you or them to sit down and just even spend 2 minutes, you know, playing with your baby, you know, building blocks or doing something like that. This really, really encourages, you know, this bond between you and the baby. The next thing is to help your baby master new skills. So this is a saying that goes around. It says happy people are often those who have mastered a skill. So, for example, when your baby figures out how to get a spoon into his mouth, or how to pick up like a little piece of chicken or something with their fingers, this really just teaches them persistence and discipline. You know, they won't get it the first time, but they keep going at it, and this really teaches them really good qualities. It also gives them the experiences of joy and success, and feeling like they can do things on their own, that their life is in their hands and they're kind of in control of it. And even from a young age, it could be anywhere from like 2 months to like a year old. Really, guys, it's if you let them help them master new skills, they will really feel, you know, they'll feel happier. They'll feel like they managed something. The next thing is to cultivate your baby's healthy habits. So, for instance, lots of sleep, exercise, and a healthy diet. Make sure your babies are constantly getting naps and sleeping well through the night. Make sure that, you know, you're letting them crawl back and forth, you know, between blocks and toys and chasing balls and all that kind of stuff. And also make sure they're eating their healthy vegetables, and or if you're breastfeeding, you don't have to worry about that at this time. But once they start eating solids, make sure you're not giving them, you know, thousands of Cheerios on their plate and not really giving them any veggies. Make sure you're balancing their diets. Make sure they're eating, you know, more healthy food, less sugar, because this really does go on with them as they get older. They will develop a sweet tooth when they're younger, and it just kind of will keep going and keep going. So also they say that your baby's need for structure is really important. Some babies might just be more easygoing, but most babies tend to really need a set structure or schedule. So it's very important to get your baby on a set routine, something that they can expect the same thing every day, same nap times, same feeding times, roughly, you know, same play times, same, you know, this and that. And of course you can stray from that once in a while, you know, if you got to go out and do things, but for the most part, if you have your baby expecting when they're going to go to bed and stuff, it really helps them out as well as you, because it really helps with healthy habits. The next thing is to let your baby figure it out. So you can't spoil a baby, but about after 6 months, and this is proven by psychiatrists, that after 6 months, if you run over to them at every little hiccup that kind of comes, that you're taking away an important learning opportunity. So that's kind of common sense. You want your baby to be able to figure things out on their own. So it's good to let babies cry a little, like I said, as long as you're giving them lots of positive affection and attention the rest of the time. So if your baby is having a hard time, you know, doing something, don't just run to them right away because they started crying because they fell. You know, they're trying to climb a table and they fell. Leave them alone. They'll figure it out. It gives them some positive support, and it lets them figure, like I said, figure things out on their own, and it's just really healthy for the babies. So the next thing is allow your baby to be sad or mad. Now what I mean is, I don't mean that like if your baby's crying or hurt, you're gonna just ignore them. That's not what I mean at all. What I mean is that as your baby gets older, you can encourage them to label his or her feelings and express them verbally. So even before your baby is talking, you can show them pictures in a book. Now, this is obviously from a little bit older. We can show them pictures in a book and be like, this person's sad, this person's happy, this person's angry. Point to the one that you're feeling right now, and if they're happy, they can point to the happy one. Because young children pick up from very quickly, especially from a young age, on words such as happy and angry. So when they put words to their emotions, it's easier for them to recognize and regulate their feelings. This quote that I just read to you is actually from one of, she's a doctor in psychology, and she's just been studying this her whole life, and she's saying that children, even though they can't talk, and you might think that they don't understand what's going on, they really do know what's going on, and they understand things, and they can really put pictures and words to their emotions, even if they can't say them back to you. But they know. If you say, are you happy? They will know what you're talking about, even though they can't tell you yes or no. So that's really important, is you allow them to feel, you know, sad or mad sometimes, because that's going to develop them from such a young age. And as they get older, they're going to, you know, be able to express their feelings too much better. So that's very important. Definitely keep it in mind. Also, another thing is you teach your baby to share and care. So research shows, again, another quote, that people who have meaning in their lives feel less depressed. So that's really awesome. As your baby matures, she can be taught, even in small ways, how satisfying it is to help others. So you can say, why don't you go help mommy clean up your toys? And when she's done, you can be like, thank you, and clap and just get really happy, showing her how, you know, amazing it is and how happy you are that she helped you. And then in return, she will feel really happy. Or if you're baking and they're old enough to like hold a spoon, you can be like, can you help me mix, you know, the batter for the muffins, or anything like that, really. You can ask them to help you hold a little something in the grocery store, and then make sure you give a positive response, a positive feedback when they do something like that, because then it really will help them, or not help them, I should say, but really show them how important it is to help others and to care, and it will really, you know, resonate really well with them. And it's really important, I think anyways, to teach your children from such a young age. With John, what I like to do for months now, and he doesn't even know what's going on, he's just like not even 9 months yet, but like what I've always liked to do is I will give him like food on his tray. It could be little crackers or anything, and I will put my hand out and I will ask him for one. I was like, can mommy have one? And in the beginning he had no idea what I was talking about. He wouldn't even give me one, but now he will take one from his tray and put it in my hand, or put it directly in my mouth. And right when he does that, he gets like this huge beaming smile on his face, like he's the happiest kid in the world. And I, you know, get really excited trying to show him, you know, how happy I am that he shared. And he really feels so good about it. You can just tell. It's the cutest thing. And you can start training your kids from such a young age. And I think, at least to me, it's very important. Finally, be a role model to your baby. So again, another quote. Research shows that you can pass on your temperament to your child, but not necessarily through your genes, but through your own behavior and child rearing style. So don't be upset all the time. If you're very stressed, try to, you know, maybe just be in a separate room than your kids so they don't realize. If you're crying, if you just have some sad news, maybe try to hide a little bit. And I'm not saying hide all your feelings from your baby. That's not it at all. Just kind of filter and be more aware. So like I said with John, if I'm having a rough day, if I'm very sad, if I'm crying, I will not try not to let him see it. And if as soon as he looks at me, I'll put a big smile on my face, you know, tell him I love him, all this kind of stuff. So he feels happy, and that really does, like the way you act really does, again, resonate with your child, and they will, you know, pick up the way you are. You know, I don't know how to explain this, but one way is, I was watching a movie a year ago maybe, and it was, I don't remember what it was called at all, but in the movie, it was this child, he was living in a home, like a really bad home. The parents were constantly arguing and fighting, and there was a lot of bad stuff happening. Like, it was a really rough environment for this child. And then they show, I know it's just a movie, so obviously the plot's made up, but they show how the child grows up, and he's exactly like the parents. He gets a wife, and it's the same thing, you know, he's a little bit abusive, there's arguing, yelling, and he kind of, you know, gravitates towards that kind of, like, environment. And it really just shows how you get molded at such a young age. And I just really think that if you are a role model to your baby and you act the way you want your baby to act in the future, then they'll turn out just fine. Those were just my couple little bits. I've just done some research, you know, trying to get different views from different doctors and things like that, you know, on how to raise a happy baby. And I thought I would share them with you because it is really sweet. It's good to know, and I mean, I'm sure it's all common sense to you guys anyways, but, you know, I thought it's just a nice reminder. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye!